He finally comes clean about Robert Redford when he is 70 years old. Kevin Costner was born in Linwood, California, on January 18, 1955. The date of his birth is January 18th. Kevin Michael Costner was raised in a family with little money. His father, William Costner, was a utilities manager and electrician. Sharon Ray, his mother, worked in welfare. Kevin is the youngest of the three boys. Kevin's father was a truck driver, so the family traveled a lot when he was a kid. These methods taught him independence, strength, and flexibility, all of which would eventually affect his playing and way of life. Costner was passionate about stories and art from a young age. He enrolled at California State University, Fullerton, to study business and finance, even though at first he had no desire to become a movie star. He discovered his passion for acting during the last few years of his stay there. Costner's life was forever changed when he happened to cross paths with actor Richard Burton on a plane. He decided to follow his dream of becoming an actor, taking acting classes and performing in small-scale theater productions, while earning a living by taking on odd jobs. His tenacity and unwavering faith in himself ultimately paid off. It took some time for Kevin Costner to become well-known. It burned slowly because people worked hard and persisted. Early in his career, he played a few small parts. One of his biggest breaks came when he was cast in The Great Chill, 1983, by director Lawrence Kasdan. Despite the fact that Costner's scenes were cut from the final cut, Kasdan remembers how captivating he was and cast him in Silverado, 1985, which helped him become famous. He consequently starred in a number of well-known movies that showcased his capacity to embody the ideal American hero: fierce, honorable, and delicately strong. He was at the top of his game in the late 1980s and early 1990s. His role in The Untouchables, 1987, made him a lifelong celebrity. With Bull Durham, 1988, and Field of Dreams, 1989, he rose to fame as an actor. The plots of these films struck a chord with viewers and revealed his deep emotions regarding themes like integrity, atonement, and the human spirit. He then went on to write Dances with Wolves, 1990, which would become his most famous composition. In addition to playing the lead, Costner produced and directed the big-budget movie. Among the 7 Academy Awards it received were Best Picture and Best Director. This cemented Costner's place in movie history. His vision and bravery in presenting a story of Native American culture with depth and understanding changed the way Hollywood movies were made in the 1990s. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, 1991, JFK, 1991, The Bodyguard, 1992, and Wyatt Earp, 1994, are just a few examples of the historical epics and romantic stories that helped Costner maintain his top spot at the box office. He shot to international fame in The Bodyguard, co-starring with Whitney Houston in one of the most famous love stories ever. After the movie's soundtrack, which included the song I Will Always Love You, became one of the all-time bestsellers, Costner's fame grew even more. Despite a number of failures, including Waterworld, 1995, and The Postman, 1997, which were criticized for their extravagant budgets and lofty goals, Costner received recognition for his bravery and willingness to take creative risks. In addition to acting in films, Kevin Costner has pursued a variety of other endeavors. He is a gifted musician as well. As the lead singer of the country rock group Modern West and Kevin Costner, he has given performances all over the world. His work, which includes songs about love, grief, and the American frontier, often shows how easily he tells stories. This is also how he acts. Due to his portrayal of John Dutton in the well-known television drama Yellowstone, 2018 present, Costner's career has recently experienced a significant surge. His portrayal of the emotionally complex and tough father of a Montana ranching family has won him praise from both critics and new fans. This indicates that his talent and charisma will always be sought after. Outside of the spotlight, Costner has led an equally rich and genuine life. He has 7 children and has frequently stated that one of his favorite things in the world is being a father. He has backed a number of humanitarian causes, such as environmental projects and children's organizations. He is well known for his humility and kindness. In spite of his immense fame, Costner has remained dependable and honest, rarely succumbing to the excesses of Hollywood. He would much rather be on a ranch, playing music, and spending time with his family than read gossip articles or walk the red carpet. Like the films he has starred in, Kevin Costner's romantic life has been intricate and captivating. His first wives were Christine Baumgartner and Cindy Silva. With every marriage, he experienced new stages in both his personal and professional lives. Both relationships had a significant impact on him, illustrating the challenges of balancing family, work, and personal growth over a long period of time as a Hollywood star. His first marriage was to Cindy Silva, whom he fell in love with while he was a student at California State University, Fullerton. They were married in 1978, long before Costner became one of the most well-known celebrities in the world. Cindy was a rock of support for him during the uncertain early years of his acting career, in addition to being a supportive wife. In interviews, Costner has stated that she helped him stay focused on his objectives, even when they seemed unachievable. They started a family and raised Annie, Lily, and Joe while Costner's career was flourishing. When Kevin Costner rose to fame in the 1980s and early 1990s thanks to hit films like Dances with Wolves, Field of Dreams, and The Bodyguard, Cindy usually stood beside him at premieres. She was a representation of tenacity and dedication in the glitz of Hollywood. But as their relationship progressed, Kevin's fame started to cause tension. Long trips away from home on film sets and the demanding demands of being a celebrity caused a great deal of stress in their marriage. Kevin and Cindy divorced in 1994 after dating for 16 years. Their widely reported split cost an estimated $80 million, making it one of the biggest settlements in Hollywood history at the time. Despite the pain, Kevin and Cindy worked hard to keep their relationship amicable after their divorce and co-parent their kids. That time was one of introspection, as Costner would later characterize it. He said it had been difficult to balance his goals with his family life. He claimed that his first marriage had taught him a lot about love, loyalty, and the costs of success. Costner fell in love again 10 years later, but this time it was with Christine Baumgartner, a gorgeous and talented handbag designer and model who is roughly 20 years his junior. They didn't go on their first date until the early 2000s, even though they had met in the 1990s. Reporters and fans first questioned their romance because of their age difference and Costner's desire to remarry. They were very fond of each other, though. Christine brought Costner's mood back to one of peace and contentment. After a short separation, they got back together because Christine was in favor of having kids, but Costner wasn't sure he wanted them. After deciding that their love outweighed their worries about the future, they were married in September 2004 at Costner's home in Aspen, Colorado. The event was both small and big, with a touch of Western charm and Hollywood glitz. Together, they had 3 children, Caden, Hayes, and Grace. With this, Kevin now had 7 children in total. Costner felt a sense of purpose in his 50s as a father. He spoke extensively about his love for his family and how Christine taught him to cherish the slower, more meaningful moments in life. For almost 20 years, they seemed to be together all the time. They supported one another's goals and went to many red carpet events together. Christine went with Kevin to Yellowstone when he was doing particularly well. In that role, he played the tough rancher John Dutton, reflecting his real-life love of family and the American West. In 2024, Costner and Baumgartner abruptly ended their 20-year marriage. Fans were shocked, and the media took notice when another seemingly stable Hollywood couple broke up. Despite their lack of public communication, many people close to the marriage asserted that Costner's demanding film schedule and growing commitments outside of acting, like working on his pet project Horizon, an American saga, had made things more difficult. Costner and Baumgartner have expressed their desire to put their children's health first and uphold their mutual respect, despite their sadness over their split. Kevin Costner has always been a man, quiet and proud. He decides to let his work speak for itself, rather than listen to the incessant clamor in Hollywood. On his 70th birthday, the Oscar-winning producer, director, and actor chose to talk about Robert Redford, who had a big impact on his life. For many years, their personal and professional lives have been entwined. Redford has served as both a creative soulmate and a mentor to them. The relationship between the two well-known performers has been the subject of years of speculation. Costner's latest theories, however, have finally revealed what was truly taking place. My respect for Redford is much deeper than the normal respect between two actors, Costner said in an emotional interview. I had other role models besides Robert, Costner added. He was the kind of artist who taught me what it meant to really take risks. I came to understand that storytelling was more than just acting after seeing him. He exuded a serene intensity that captivated you without attempting to grab your attention. It had to do with meaning. That goal became clear early in Costner's career as he was still getting used to working in Hollywood. At the time, Redford was already a well-known actor who was known for his wit, independence, and style. Costner was motivated to follow a similar career path by Redford's choice to become a director. When Robert made Ordinary People, I remember thinking, that's what I want to do someday, to tell stories that matter. He said, he showed me that you could be an actor and still have a voice that shaped the bigger picture. When Redford asked Costner to star in the movie A River Runs Through It in the early 1990s, it further solidified their relationship. Even though Brad Pitt eventually got the part, Costner said the conversations he had with Redford at the time were some of the most important of his career. It wasn't just about Montana and fishing, Robert said. The topic of discussion was fathers and sons and the challenging things that men had to say to each other. For a while, I couldn't stop thinking about what Costner had said. It reminded me of my own friendship with my father. They were friends because they shared similar values, not because they went to fancy Hollywood parties or worked together in public. Both men have always preferred the peaceful splendor of nature to the busy, cacophonous metropolis of Los Angeles. The American landscape is important to both Redford and Costner. Redford started the Sundance Institute, and Costner established his own property in Colorado. He laughed and said, Robert and I have discussed the West more than we've discussed movies. We both see it as a living thing, a place that shaped us and still calls us back. Costner is also impressed by Redford's moral strength. Costner insisted that he had never cheated on anyone. Robert stood up for something in a business that often rewards giving in. He thought independent films were important, and that new perspectives should be heard. Honesty like this is rare. According to Costner, Redford's suggestion motivated him to create Dances with Wolves, a movie that not many people thought would be a hit. I remember thinking, if Robert can bet on himself, I can too, he continued. He made me believe that following your instincts is worth every risk. Costner still maintains that Redford has an impact on everything he does, even after all these years. When I direct, I still hear Robert's voice in my head, calm, thoughtful, always reminding me to slow down and find the truth in the scene, said Costner. He never gave me instructions, but he did help me understand things better. They rarely talk about their friendship, but it shows something rare in Hollywood: respect for one another without competition. Despite the fact that artists are frequently pitted against one another, Robert was never in conflict. He continued, we were just two guys trying to tell stories that meant something. As his career comes to an end, Redford is seen by Costner as a mentor and a model of what an artist should be: courageous, kind, and truthful. Murmuring, he taught me a lot, Costner said. If I've ever made a film that touched someone, that made them stop and feel something real, it's because men like Robert Redford showed me how it's done. Kevin Costner claims that the truth about Robert Redford is both simple and profound. He wasn't just well-known in Hollywood. The man ended up becoming Costner's mentor and friend. He had an impact on Costner's personal growth. Costner said, Robert taught me that success isn't about fame. It's about living with integrity, standing by your work, and never forgetting why you fell in love with storytelling in the first place. At 70, Costner's remarks bear the weight of life's lessons, a touching homage to a friendship that persevered in the face of fame, time, and the spotlight of Hollywood. It was based on mutual respect, a shared objective, and a deep love for the work that made them unique.